Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Movie Magic Show for Tuesday. Whoa! The 21st of December, 2021. I'm one of your hosts, Shane Bailey, joined by my wickedly talented cast. To my right, the dulcet tones in your headphones, here to engineer a sincere atmosphere, Terry Fear.
Good evening.
And to his right, it's the film filleting, TV show hating, thought elaborating Mr. Movies, Ben Stapleton.
Hi, Shane. Sun's out, mate.
Sun's out. What's that? I jumped in the pool today. Jumped in the pool. Oh, during my lunch break. It's great. Loved it.
That's a pretty cool lunch break.
Yeah. No, I'm excited. Summer is here. Festival season has commenced. Let's get it. What else am I excited for? The Movie Magic Show, which you're watching right now. If this is your first time tuning in, usually Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time, we chuckleheads get together to love, like, bash, and trash the latest the entertainment world has to offer. If you like that, follow us here on Twitch. Twitch.tv/magic_cast. Catch all our past episodes, our past reviews on my YouTube channel, Magic Casts, all one word on YouTube. And follow us on Twitter as well, at Movie Magic Show. We'll notify you when we're going live. And, tell you which topics we will be, or movies, we'll be reviewing. Speaking of movies we'll be reviewing, this week it's a jam-packed show, gentlemen. 3 films to get through. We will be talking Spider-Man No Way Home, the latest film within the MCU. We'll also touch upon Wonder Woman, which is a film that I'm reviewing due to the fundraiser, which I'll note in just a moment. And also Departures, which came to us via a suggestion from one of the very, very generous donors as part of our Game on Cancer Holiday Spectacular fundraiser. That's right, all through the month of December, we are raising money for cancer research. Full disclosure, I work for Cure Cancer, the organisation putting this fundraising campaign together, and we decided to support it here on the Movie Magic Show. So you can donate $25 to support cancer research. Pick any film that you'd like, and we'll review it on the show. It's not too late. The campaign ends on Christmas Day, so get in before then and pick your movie. Let us know, and we'll get to it in the next few weeks. So yes, thankfully to CG initials on the fundraising page, we'll be reviewing Departures, and which is a foreign language film, best foreign language film for 2009 Oscars. And also, because I reached my first fundraising milestone of $250, I will be reviewing Wonder Woman from DC. Before we get to those, though, we need to set up our end games. These are games we like to play at the end of the show. First among them are our film quotes. We'll give you 2 quotes. You need to try and guess which films they're from. I defer to the dulcet tones of Terry Fear for movie quote number 1.
I thank you for deferring to me, brother. Here it comes. Hey, come here. If you don't stop screwing around back there, this is what I'm going to do to you. Wait, so this is what I'm going to do with you.
Oh.
What I'm going to do with you.
That changes everything.
And movie quote number 2, courtesy of Mr. Stapleton.
Okay, this is a back and forth, okay? So,
I love this.
You know, I don't like playing poker. Why do you play? I like destroying lives.
Ooh. I think I know this. I know this. I don't actually know if I know it, but I think I know it.
I wonder if I'm wrongfully being drawn down the thought pattern of, okay, just think of all the poker movies that have ever existed. Or whether poker is just happens to be in this film that's not necessarily about poker.
It's a pretty smart approach, I think.
Yeah.
Pretty smart approach.
Yeah.
I think you'll find.
If I was to say John, would I be on the right track?
Don't know.
Actor that says it.
Anyway, the other game we like to play is 6 Degrees. We're going to give you 2 actors. You need to try and link them via actors they've starred alongside. This week, I have elected to try and link Tom Holland to Julia Roberts. We will come to a solution together at the end of the show. Before we get to the end of the show, let's get to the start of the show with our first topic. It is of Wonder Woman. I'm going to head on over to my notes now, and we shall review this 2017 American superhero film based on the DC Comics character of the same name, produced by DC Films in association with Rat Pack Entertainment and Chinese company Tencent Pictures, and distributed by Warner Brothers Pictures. It is the 4th installment in the DC Extended Universe, the DCEU, directed by Patty Jenkins, from a screenplay by Alan Heinberg and a story by Heinberg, Zack Snyder, and Jason Fuchs, Fuchs, Fuchs. No idea. Wonder Woman stars Gal Gadot, in the title role alongside Chris Pine, Robin Wright, and Danny Huston. It is the second live-action theatrical film featuring Wonder Woman following her debut in 2016's Batman vs Superman: Dawn of... Sorry. I was vomited in my mouth. In Wonder Woman, the Amazon princess Diana sets out to stop World War I, believing the conflict was started by the longtime enemy of the Amazons, Ares, after American pilot and spy Steve Trevor crash lands on their island, Themyscira. The film fared well with audiences, earning an IMDb rating of 7.4 from 620,000 users, aligning perfectly with a Metascore of 74. The Rotten Tomatoes, gentlemen, take a stab.
I think it's probably doing pretty damn well. I'm going to say like 88 plus 5.
That's a 10 point. That's a big difference there, Terry.
62.
Oh, Ben, I'm going to disappoint you. Certified fresh at 93%.
It was 88 plus 5.
It was 88 plus 5, yes.
That's nice.
I don't know where this rule came from, where Terry just gets to plus and minus his way through this competition.
The standard deviation. Standard deviation. I'm like, well, plus or minus 2.
Fair enough.
I didn't think it was going to be lower than 88.
Anyway, sense check. You have both watched this, is that correct? Wonder Woman?
No.
Oh.
No, I haven't. I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay.
I watched it. Yeah. Couldn't stop me.
Right. Ben, did you see this one theatrically?
I did see it theatrically, and I had a similar reaction to when you were reading the synopsis.
Right. All right. I don't want to spend too much
time when you read the synopsis.
It
was so bad.
Yeah,
Not your reading of them. Not your reading of them.
Right.
Just the synopsis.
Yeah. What was I going to say? All right. Yes. Thank you to everyone who donated to the fundraiser. I obviously, of my own volition, elected to set this milestone, understanding that it was likely to be a painful experience. And hot damn, I was right. It wasn't great. But having said that, I do wonder how much of my disdain for DC clouded my judgment. I do wonder if, remove that and this was X comic company that owned Wonder Woman, or if it was just a different character. Let's just say it wasn't Wonder Woman, but a character that followed the exact same story path, character progression. Would I have enjoyed it? I don't think so, because when I look at this film, all I see is very plain action, very confusing character motivations, thinly established lore, and world building that I really can't sink my teeth into. They really don't. I mean, I don't know Wonder Woman from a bar of soap. My first exposure to the character was in Batman vs Superman. That's the first Wonder Woman entertainment, thing that I'd ever experienced of this character. So already, I don't understand why this character is cool. And this movie didn't do a good job, explaining why I should care about her. Why is she cool? I found the action to be really, really disappointing in the sense that she has fantastic tools at her disposal that she could use very creatively. And I think that's going to be something I definitely address when it comes to No Way Home a bit later in this film. And it's something that we've, been, I suppose, beneficiaries of through the MCU. We see fantastic examples of how these characters, these heroes, can use their abilities in really unique ways to bring to life these action cinematic moments that blow us away. And it's really disappointing to see this cool whip and sword and shield and other things really just used not very imaginatively. So even there, I could be here saying, I'm not sure I care about the character, but damn, the action was cool. Unfortunately, that's just not the case here.
That would be a lie.
That would be a lie. So anyway, I'd like to pass the ball around, just try and ping some thoughts from you guys. Ben, you're jittering over there, you're shaking to talk about Diana and her Diana's princes. What did you think of Wonder Woman when you saw it?
I didn't understand why everybody is so into this movie. It's like a propaganda film or something. I don't understand. I do not. And to really have some fun, sometimes I've done this maybe 3 times. When I think of Wonder Woman again, I go back and look at user reviews on Google 5-star. This is a perfect movie kind of reviews. I'll just read the first one. This is great. I'm sure. I haven't read it yet. This film is everything you want in a superhero movie. This is the Wonder Woman movie we've been waiting for. One of the first superheroes ever created in comics and the very first female superhero. Wonder Woman is among the most recognizable superheroes in history. Oh my god, this is a lot of paragraphs. I'm going to stop halfway through. It is outrageously bold and confident, insanely fun and thrilling, powerfully dramatic and delightfully amusing, all rolled into one epic superhero outing. It's like the production company wrote this.
I was about to say it's just adjectives. That's all this
to your
is.
point, Shane, here we go. We're adjusting Shane's point. It sports some of the greatest action sequence scenes and visuals of any superhero movie to date, many of which have been saved from the marketing in order to serve as delicious surprises when you finally see it. Love it. I'll stop right there, but it goes on. It goes on. But yeah, mostly it's just the whole, such a brave woman film, championing women power, all that kind of stuff. And then I love reading James Cameron's take on the film, where he got lambasted in the media for this opinion. He says, this is all of the self-congratulatory back-patting Hollywood's been doing over Wonder Woman, and it's been so misguided. She's an objectified icon, and it's just male Hollywood doing the same old thing. It's just, and I totally agree. Like, I don't know where this arc of it's like, oh, finally a woman gets a spotlight in a hero like role, and she gets to be the protagonist finally and save the day with her.
As if that's not been done before.
Yeah,
it's so insulting.
James Cameron himself is talking about it, and then he references his own film, Terminator. He says, I'm not saying I didn't like the movie, but to me it's a step backwards. Sarah Connor was not a beauty icon. She was strong, she was troubled, she was a terrible mother, and she earned the respect of the audience through pure grit. And to me, the benefit of characters like Sarah is so obvious. I mean, half the audience is female, and the movie is a hit. I'm stopped after half the audience is female with his quote. Like, the movie was a tremendous success. There's a perfect example from decades ago of like, Hollywood does this. If you want, you can find some better.
Look at Ripley in Alien.
Yeah.
In Aliens, like, she rises to the occasion.
Yeah.
Like, phenomenal.
But, and she doesn't need the legs to forever with the tiny skirt and the slow-mo action sequence where she's running into the wind and she's like blocking these things with her puny wrist
gauntlets,
things, and it's a glam shot. It's all it is. And anyway, I was totally like, I don't like the movie because I was totally confused about everybody's take on it. That's the biggest thing for me. It's a meta criticism of the movie.
Right.
The movie, for me, it sits at about the Phantom. Like, it's fine. Like, I liked the Phantom. I liked this more or less. I didn't love the end. Like, I didn't love the power of love arc to win the day thing. It's like, well, I mean, couldn't you go just one step further? Like Scott Pilgrim does. Scott earned the power of love. Like, totally. Almost totally ironically. And then he has to go one step further to actually win and earn the power of self-respect, which would have been like, I don't know, the way that they threw the story together for Wonder Woman didn't require her to earn self-respect. Like, she had self-respect the whole way through. But I'm just saying the power of love isn't where the crescendo of an arc for a character should end. Like, that's really that's just serving straight back into the thing that we rally against with female characters.
Unless it's the Grinch.
Yeah, unless it's
that's the whole point.
That's the whole
like,
point.
The whole
Yeah,
point
exactly.
Of that film.
If the whole movie is about how heartless someone is, and he grows one.
A Christmas Carol. Yeah.
That's one thing, but to have the whole thing, like, again, the whole angle this movie was taking was like, check it out, it's a woman. Like, I don't know. and like, we've done the whole woman falls in love thing to death. We don't need it again, and that's what we've got again. And then the second movie just doubles down on it. I hated the second movie. Like, the first movie's fine. Like I said, it's about a 60s, which 60s is fine. But the second movie, oh my god, like, how she's just pining over this.
Ah.
Finding over this guy for like decades later, like can't get over this one fling she had with this really handsome pilot. I don't know. I don't know. That's the second movie though. Forget it. Forget it. It's fine. I liked the camaraderie of the band of merry men she gathers and they go on into the front lines. To your point, Shane, totally agree. Like she could have put her powers better tested than just running head first into bullet
Yeah,
fire and
running through no man's land with like a shield and a gauntlet up. I'm like, other than the very Zack Snyder-esque pornographic cinematography, to your point, Ben, like slow mo and just this sort of yeah, like again just portraying Diana in this really gratuitous and lustful way. It's there's nothing interesting. Like there was a couple of moments, where she'd burst into a room and the cinematography is very kinetic, like it's swinging with the character, and I like that. But the choreography in and of itself isn't anything brand new, and I think that's where you land, right? When you say it's fine, like this is serviceable action, but it is a huge missed opportunity. The fact that we don't get anything nearly as imaginative or as interesting as other superheroes in the DC universe have showed us. Like, look at any other action moments through The Dark Knight or The Dark Knight Rises even. Like, there's fantastic examples of that universe doing it well. So, anyway.
Yeah, again, I just love to go back to these comments where they're just like, it's the best action in any superhero movie you'll ever see. It's like, oh my god.
I want to be next to this person when they see an actually good actions movie.
Have you seen Spider-Man? The Tobey Maguire?
Yeah, this is the problem I have with it. Like, that review is coming through a mask. That's coming through an ideologue. It's like, then they don't believe what they're saying. They're saying it because of the lens or the veil that's in front of their faces because of what they're staring at. They're staring at this like supposedly feminist empowering kind of thing, and so they must dote on it, because if they don't, then they're betraying some type of core value that they have. And if you were to sit them in front of something that has a better action, well, look at Avatar. Avatar's brilliant action sequences, phenomenal visuals. The story and the plot's basically like Pocahontas in space, which is fine. The Pocahontas story is a great story, and space is cool, so it's fine. But the visuals are amazing. But because it doesn't have this, like, you can show them two sequences from both films, and they will 100% of the time say that the Wonder Woman was better when it's objectively worse, because they're not a real person with a real point of view. They're just filleting this film.
Yeah.
And I don't understand. I kind of align with Ben on this one. I enjoyed the movie. I saw it at the cinemas. It was nice to get out to the movies and see it. Yeah, it was the perfect definition of fine. It was interesting to see the actor who played Ares in a film, because I haven't seen him in much since Harry Potter, where he played Lupus.
Did anyone else see that coming from a million miles away?
Yeah. The film's not it's not subtle.
I'm bad at that stuff. I didn't see it coming.
Ben's jaw hit the floor. He was like.
Yeah. Well, I have another quote here. It's very short, and it references this. I won't deny I almost cried. By the way, this is totally spoilery. Totally spoilery. Okay. I won't deny I almost cried at the stage where Steve Trevor died. When you know a movie can do that, you know it's a good movie.
That it can make you cry.
Because it killed a character.
Right.
Yeah. The story is so
marvelous
well
filmmaking.
Done, and he said, I couldn't help but laugh at the bathroom phase, so I had to take a break until I finished laughing. I don't know what that part's referencing.
They probably watched it on DVD and paused it?
Maybe, yeah. When I heard the name Ares, I couldn't believe it. I played a lot of Injustice Gods Among Us, and Ares was one of my favorite gameplay characters. What are you doing?
That has nothing to do with this film.
It's nothing to do at all. What is happening here? It's like, it's like saying that
Grandpa Simpson's
I love the
story.
name Catherine, and Catherine Bigelow directed this. Catherine's my favorite name. My best friend was called Catherine. 5 stars. It's like it has nothing to do with.
There was one scene set in Amsterdam, and I had the most fantastic holiday in Amsterdam 3 years ago.
The greatest bagels of my life in Amsterdam.
That reminds me. I saw Die Another Day. I think it was the Bond film with somebody who was who had been to London recently, and there's some scenes in London, and she's saying like, I've been there. I've been there. And then like he's like he walks in through a door and then ends up in like a secret underground railroad or whatever. He meets Em, and she's like, "That doesn't lead there. I've been through that." And I'm like, "Oh my god, it's a movie."
Yeah, yeah.
So-
It's almost like I think
boy.
it's important to travel. I think it's important. We're going to get lost in the weeds. Traveling does not make you interesting.
Yeah,
It's
that's a
like
good point.
the fact that you've gone somewhere and seen some things does not inherently make you more interesting.
Yeah,
It
it's very
means
similar to the
maybe-
guys who envelop the comic books, and they
Yeah.
sit there and they go like, well, that character never did this, and
Yeah,
this
it's
character
like,
did
oh,
that.
you know, they totally underpowered the whip. It's like a core part of a kit. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
I know. It's like gatekeeping. But yeah, it doesn't make you interesting. Maybe it gives you some interesting anecdotes to share at a party, but it doesn't make you an interesting
It
person.
was like when our buddy Luke would talk about how great Batman is. I'm like, I'm not seeing it, mate. I'm watching all
Yeah.
these Batman movies. I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? Like,
Yeah, that's Lord Nyman, right?
I don't know who Lord
Or
Nyman is.
Is that somebody else?
Somebody else.
I
don't
know Lord
again,
Norman's
I don't
my
know.
mate from Ubisoft.
Oh, that's
Right, yeah,
Former
yeah.
Ubisoft,
That was
yeah.
from Ubisoft.
Oh, Lord Nyman from Chat. No, not Lord
Yeah.
Nyman. No.
No,
It's
he's Luke Full. You're saying?
You're
Yeah,
thinking
Luke
of Jason Hendricks' mate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Switch is
Talks
going to
about
be a
the
dark
Rogues
console.
Gallery.
Yeah,
Talks
that
about
guy,
Rogues
the guy who knew that the Switch was going to flop, and I was like, mate,
Oh,
it's going to be.
Is that what he
It's
said?
great. Yeah. I had
It's one
a
of the
huge.
best consoles ever.
We had a huge back and forth in chat about how excited I was for the Switch before it released. And he's like, mate, it's going to be a complete flop. It's totally underpowered. It's going to
I
be. Like...
remember this. That
I
was-
did not
yeah.
remember that. That's funny.
And here it goes. You know, it's almost going to surpass the Wii in sales.
Oh, it's going
So-
to. It 100% will.
Yeah, it will. And this is, I just want to raise a small point. We're no longer talking about the movie because the movie is so disinteresting. That, like,
Right.
I don't really care about this film that came out. I like that someone
No, me either.
donated and that we like you hit the goal and that you watched it. I think it's great because
100%.
it gives us an opportunity to talk about a movie that could have been way better, should have been way better. But it's like both of you have said. It's like the self. I like what you said, James Cameron said. This self-congratulatory, like back-patting circle jerk of like. Look at what we made. We gave the people what we tell them they want, and
Yeah,
did
it was
we do
it was
good?
around that era of like the 70%, like women earn 70% of what men do
Yeah.
regulars. So it was totally like, look, we hired a woman in the lead role and we totally paid her good money or whatever too, even though they didn't really pay her good money. It was like her first film, and everybody knows you don't get any money until later films, but whatever.
Yeah.
You know, just top billing and on the poster in the front and in the center. It's like, mate, what are you doing? Like, do you want
Yeah,
a
it's
round of
like-
applause for doing what you should have been doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, or for just castings. Like, yeah, it just doesn't make sense. The movie's the definition of fine. I don't want to repeat myself too much. I did like some of the funny sequences early on in the film where Chris Pine and Diana meet for the first time because she lives on an island of women. I don't know how they explain birth in that place, but men.
She was
don't
sculpted
exist.
from clay and brought to life by the gods or
She
something.
was, but I mean
Yeah.
the rest of them.
Oh, the rest of them,
actual,
yeah, good point.
The
Not
actual
sure.
Amazonians that are there. Yeah, I don't understand that, but they find a man, and it's like a novelty, and he's very handsome, and he is. Chris Pine is a very handsome man.
They had great chemistry. That's
yeah,
that's something
on-screen
I
chemistry
enjoyed.
is good.
Yeah, particularly when
Fish
he's
out
like
of water stuff.
he's butt naked and yeah
Mm.
on the boat, and it's like, well, I can sleep with you, but I didn't know, bit awkward here.
Yeah,
That was great. Yeah. Anyway, Wonder Woman, 2017 film. It's not on any streaming services, so you can rent it if you wish. If you're looking for a fine film,
yeah, and
Watch
not
Wonder
fine
Woman.
like gold fine or she fine. It's
fine.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.